This is Jackie, and I'm here with Aparna at day 2 of Bonnaroo. How are you doing so far?
I'm good. I'm trying to stay hydrated, but I'm taking in all the sights. It's great.
Staying hydrated is very key at Bonnaroo. How does comedy fit in with the Bonnaroo Festival?
I think comedy is nice because it's a little bit different. It's music, and then there's more artsy stuff and workshops. And I think comedy is just another sort of extension of, self-expression, but it's funny. Our tent is air conditioned. I think that's key. Yeah.
That is definitely a benefit. Are there some other comedians or musicians that you're excited to see?
I am. I mean, all the other comedians here I love. Like, I never get to see Nate Bargatze, and he's here this weekend. And then Bridget Everett is amazing. I'd never seen Piff the Magic Dragon before. And the show comedy, it's like something jam, and then it's like you do your set, and then you do a song. And there's so many really talented comedians who can sing, apparently. Not me, but others. Yeah.
So musicians can sometimes make for good joke material.
Yes.
Is there a musician that you would parody or that you could be mistaken for?
Oh, that's a good question. I think one time, a long time ago, I was putting together a reel for SNL for characters, and I think I did an MIA impression. A little on the nose, but it felt she's like, enough of a personality that there are things you can blow out and make big.
I think there was some Grammy dress sometime that she wore.
Yeah, she definitely dresses for, to express herself. And then she also, her songs are very like, I don't give a fuck. So, yeah.
Cool. So when it comes to writing your jokes, are your jokes more autobiographical, things you notice, a little bit of everything? How does a joke take shape for you?
For me, it's definitely a combination of autobiographical and things I notice. Like, it's very much just my day-to-day experiences and my take on like sort of my life through just like my observational filter. So I would say it's a combination of those two things.
If you walk through Bonnaroo, I'm sure that there's lots of things that you could observe to make jokes about.
There's so many. It's almost overstimulating as a comedian because they're like that and that and that. I'm not going to remember anything.
I mean, I'm no comedian, and I could make jokes about a lot of things that I see, mostly clothing, again, for some reason.
Yeah, music festivals are a great people watching / fashion parade.
A little bit of everything. So you also do stand-up, and you also do some sketch characters. How is the writing for a sketch different than your stand-up writing?
I think, stand-up, you're very much, at least for my act, I'm very much more a version of myself and just talking about, day-to-day life. And then sketch, you're usually some kind of heightened personality. You're like a bit bigger, broader of a character than I would say my stand-up is. But you're kind of writing with those two different viewpoints in mind.
Is there anything that you've learned from writing with Late Night for Seth Meyers or Inside Amy Schumer?
I mean, I actually just was in some Amy Schumer sketches. I haven't written for them, but for Seth Meyers, I think it's like anytime it's like a late night daily show, it's you're turning over material so fast. So I think it makes you good at sort of not getting too attached to anything you write and also just being able to generate like a bigger quantity of material per day.
So you do a little bit of everything. You're a writer, you do stand-up, you do sketch comedy, you also do improv.
Yep.
How is your preparation different across all of the different sort of modes of comedy?
Well, I'm a pretty anxious person, so I'd say I get nervous for everything, no matter what. So that's consistent. But then I think like for stand-up, you definitely have more prepared material in mind. So you're kind of going in with like, okay, what are the jokes I probably want to do? You might change something in the moment, but it's usually like you have an idea of what your set's going to be. And then sketch, it's like even more a little bit tied to like a script. And then improv is kind of the biggest sort of question mark because you're just like, I'll play off my scene partners and I'll sort of go with the flow. And so that's the one you can sort of prepare the least for concretely, but you sort of have to get in this mindset of feeling like open and creative. So that's definitely an important part of improv.
Creativity, definitely. How do you use social media creatively to spread the word about your shows and things that are coming up?
Well, I am a big Twitter person. I feel like Twitter, I got on it pretty early, and I feel like I've kept up with it in a way where I like to post jokes on there pretty consistently, and I think I've just sort of parlayed that into a promotional tool for shows, and I think it's been really nice that it's like to find another medium where you're like, oh, people seem to be responding well. So I would say Twitter is the number one for me, but then I also have Instagram. I'm very teetering on the edge of getting a Snapchat account, but I'm not there yet.
I have one. I have no idea what to do with it.
I'm afraid I'll start one, and then that'll be it. It'll just exist.
Gotta love technology. What's up next for you after Bonnaroo?
This is less comedy related, but I'm going to a wedding. But then I'm going to LA for a little while to do a show and just do some more press stuff. I have an album coming out in July, and it's my first album. So I think just trying to start a little press, blitz around that.
What's your album called?
It's called Just Putting It Out There.
Excellent. Well, stay tuned for Just Putting It Out There from Aparna Nancherla. This is Jackie. Thanks to In the Key of Change and Chorus.fm.